So if you're looking to move to the Lansing, Michigan area, one of the most important decisions you're gonna make is who is going to help you purchase the house you're looking to buy? And what do I need to be able to look out for when I'm looking to purchase a home out of state or out of the area? Well, in this episode, I'm gonna be talking to you about the things you really need to look out for when it comes to making a move to Greater Lansing, Michigan. And be sure to stay tuned until the end, because the very last thing is the most important question you need to ask yourself, so you don't want to miss it. I'm gonna get started with this episode right now. If this is your first time to the channel, my name is ᴏᴰ괰ᴜ. I am the owner, the founder of Lansing Michigan Life here on YouTube, and I'm a top producing realtor in the Greater Lansing, Michigan area, and I help people make a smooth move to the Greater Lansing, Michigan area. So whether you're looking to move here in a couple days, a couple months, a couple years, whatever that timetable looks like, I'd love to be able to help you out on that journey. So feel free to be able to reach out to me at any time. All my contact information is in the description below. Whew, it's a little bit of a windy day here. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when new episodes of Lansing Michigan Life go live. And I have new episodes going live once or twice a week. Also, feel free to browse my library. I have over 100 videos talking about anything you need to know about Greater Lansing, Michigan. And we are the #1 YouTube relocation team in all of Greater Lansing. So all the information is right there for you to browse whenever you are free. So if you have been following my channel, you'll notice I typically do office videos. And I actually just kind of wanted to do a walk because I just wanted to kind of just spew out my thoughts on something. And usually I'm pretty structured on my videos. Like I have this point and that point and this point and that point. And I just want to be able to walk on this beautiful day. I'm here in one of my favorite parks, Delta Mills Parks, and it's in Delta Township, which is the west side of town. Just wanted to take a casual walk here and be able to talk with you in a casual way, just about some of my thoughts about being a realtor in real estate. And so this isn't gonna be necessarily like, I have this point and that point, but it's just gonna be giving you advice on things you need to look out for. Right now it is the month of May, 2026, so it's a little chillier out. I have my coat on. I was hoping to wear short sleeves today, but it's okay. It's still blue skies, some clouds in the air. As you're looking here, you'll be able to see it as I'm walking. But when you're looking to move here, again, one of the most important decisions that you are going to make is, who do I choose for a real estate agent? And so I'm just gonna give you some tips of what you need to look out for, just give you some stories as well. And like I said, the most important question is at the end, so you don't want to miss it. So the first thing that you need to find out when looking for a real estate agent is, are they full-time or are they part-time? Are they full-time or are they part-time? What do I mean by that? Are they doing this full-time, or do they have like another job and this is kind of like their side gig? Because I'm telling you, especially in this crazy market that we're in May 2026, like people are saying it's been crazier than it has been the last 5-6 years. The thing you need to be aware of is that you need to have somebody who this is their full-time gig. Somebody who, if you need to see a house, that they are able to drop what they're doing and be able to get there shortly, because homes, they're going just like that. That wasn't a very good snap, but I can't snap with my left hand, just to let you know. But all to say, like, you can't see a house fast if you have someone who's part-time, because then they could be having so many other different things that they have to do. So you gotta evaluate and see, is this agent, are they doing this full-time? Are they doing this part-time? I know for myself, this is my full-time gig. This is how I put food on the table for my family. So I have availability to be able to help people out. People appreciate that. I try to make everybody feel like, hey, they are top priority for myself. Another thing you need to be knowledgeable about, or another thing you need to be aware of when looking for an agent, is how many transactions do they do a year? And I'm not saying that because of experience necessarily, although that is important, because it shows, you know, hey, are they full-time, part-time? Because they do a lot of transactions, they're probably doing this full-time, right? But I'm mostly saying it because agents are paid based upon commission. So they only get paid when a house closes. And I'm telling you, if you have somebody that only has 1 or 2 transactions that they're doing, and then like maybe you're like their second or third, well, that's a paycheck for them. And so it affects the stress of that agent, because agents are people. We are real people. So if you're working with an agent that has 7, 8, 9, 10 deals happening at the same time, and then something happens where yours could potentially fall apart, or you're feeling uncomfortable about something, then that agent should be able to be like, okay, you're not comfortable with it, no big deal. But if you have somebody that this is like their only deal or they have a couple deals happening, that's gonna affect their stress and they might try to push you into trying to do this. Why? Because then that's how they get paid. So you need to be very careful. If you have an agent that kind of feels like they're like pushing you into something, I would take caution on that because you don't want to feel pressured or pushed. So knowing how many transactions they have going on at the moment could be helpful for you so you don't feel like you're being potentially like pushed or coaxed into something. The other thing that I would encourage you to just be aware of is, I kind of alluded to this, how much experience do they have? Because if you have somebody that's only been doing this for 6 months, and then you have somebody that's been doing this for 6, 7, 8 years, they're gonna have a wealth of knowledge, stories, experience of how to get things done. I'm not saying that somebody who is new couldn't do a good job, because there are certain personalities that they could be detail driven, they'll be great at communicating with you, right? But, experience, that definitely is something that helps. For me, I've been doing this since 2017, so whenever you're watching this, just take the year it is, subtract the number of years, that's how many years that I've been doing real estate and have so many stories and so many times I've been able to help people out. But the other thing when you're looking for an agent is you need to see how knowledgeable they are. Knowledgeable in being able to craft a winning offer. Knowledgeable in homes so that you're not spending money on inspections time and time again because they didn't point something out to you that they should have been able to point out, right? Knowledgeable on property taxes, which you guys know I preach this all the time. This is like my common thing. I want everyone to know about property taxes and the Michigan uncapping rule and what their property taxes could look like. In fact, somebody who I'm just recently started working with said they came to me before working with another agent or after working with another agent because that agent didn't tell them anything about property taxes and they could have gotten themselves into a house where they would have spent $12,000, $13,000 on their taxes and they would have had no idea until they started watching these videos, finding out about the property tax uncapping law. Like, look, I gotta start like lowering my budget a little bit, right? And that's why I'm here to be able to help you guys out with that knowledge. So having somebody who's knowledgeable is key. But the one thing I want you to realize with agents, and this is a common misconception, is that people say that we are a sales job. It's something where I'm like, there are parts of it where it feels like it's a sales job, like we're trying to sell something like a used car salesman. But honestly, I look at us as counselors. We're trying to guide you to what's gonna be best for you. That's how it should be looked at. We're not trying to be like, hey, take a look at this feature, take a look at that feature. Okay, go ahead, sign the bottom line. Here you go. Now you got this great asset. That's not what it's about. And I work with countless sellers who think like that's what the listing agent should do. It's like you can't talk someone into buying a house, right? They gotta feel right about it. Their agent will help them in helping them make the right, wise choice. But at the end of the day, we're not a sales job. It's more of helping to counsel you. So again, if you ever feel like an agent is being salesy, they're trying to push you into something, force something on you into a home and you're like, well, why do they keep bringing this up? Or why do I feel like they're just trying to push me into making an offer on something, okay? Like that's not what the job should be. It's guiding you to what is going to be best for you. That's definitely the way that I see it. And that's the type of agent that you should try to continue to work with. The other thing for you to be aware of is when it comes to going online, because I think a lot of people try to have convenience in this job. And you go on Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com, and they have an area where you can click to talk with an agent. And it's so convenient because you're interested in a property, I just gotta click on it and great, I got in contact with someone. We're in the age of convenience right now. And I'm telling you, with choosing an agent, I said it's an important decision, right? You can't move here without having a knowledge of the person and feeling comfortable with them. Because this is your greatest asset. This is going to be one of the greatest assets you ever own. So why entrust it to a stranger that you meet on a website that you click on the button to contact agent, right? Another thing I tell people too is the listing agent isn't going to be your best friend. They're not going to help you save money because there's a contract that the listing agent makes that if they bring an unrepresented buyer, the seller will still pay them money. And then if you have no representation, no advice from anyone, like why try to go to that list agent, right? You need to have the representation for you. And So I highly encourage you to not use the internet as a convenient way to try to find an agent. I highly, highly recommend being able to vet some things, doing your research, finding out who you should potentially work with. Thing I'll tell you about Google reviews, and I've said this before on the channel, Google reviews, just because they have the greatest amount of Google reviews doesn't necessarily mean that they're the best. Just because they have 5.0 ratings doesn't mean that they're the best. I'm telling you, I know plenty of agents in our area that have 5-star reviews, and I have stories of them having bad experiences with clients. What happens is sometimes they'll say, hey, we'll enter you in a drawing if you give us a 5-star review. Or they'll have an event and they'll be like, hey, click this QR, or take a picture of this QR code and go on our site and leave us a 5-star review to be entered into a drawing. Or they might just, at the right time before the transaction goes south, might say, hey, go ahead, fill out this review, all these glowing reviews, and then people feel differently about it later on. So you do have to be a little skeptical when it comes to the Google reviews, because there is a little bit of manipulation in that as well. Which brings me to another point here. And if you're watching this, you're like, Troy, you're still doing the points. You're still organized. Well, I had to organize my thoughts, you guys. I can't, that's just the way I'm structured. So the other thing that is important for you to be aware of, and I think it's what a lot of people don't realize, is that as realtors, we are called to a code of ethics. And so a question that we'll get from a lot of people is this area safe? Is this a good neighborhood? I get emails like that all the time from people. Is this area safe? Is it a good neighborhood? Are the schools good? Okay. As an agent, I cannot steer you to a certain area. I can't be like, yeah, this neighborhood's kind of sketchy, stay away from it. Now, I know those of you out there, you would love for me to be able to tell you that, or your agent, because you're like, but I want to know if it's safe, right? Well, because of the code of ethics that we have with the National Association of Realtors, we can't steer you that way. It's unethical according to our code of ethics. So what I do as an agent is I say, hey, why don't you go to this site and see what the crime rates are? Go to this site and see what the school ratings are. I have videos like this to be able to give you facts, to be able to give you data. I'm not trying to steer you in one direction. It's gotta be where you are most comfortable. That's the way real estate should be. Okay, folks, so if you have an agent that is telling you these things after you ask them, they are breaking the code of ethics. I'm just telling you. I'm not saying, call up the association and report them, because then you have to go through a whole process and it's not even worth it, okay? But code of ethics, fair housing, that's just something that, agents, we really can't tell you that. And you have to be okay with that as well. And I would start questioning in my mind, if you have an agent that's telling you these things, are they somebody that I can really trust? Which brings me to my last point in the beginning. I said, what's the most important question you can ask yourself is, do I trust this person? Do I trust them? Because this relationship of a realtor with a client should be about trust. That's why I say don't go on Zillow to find an agent. How do you know you can truly trust them? And even with knowledge, with experience, if they're full-time, all these points that I've given to you, if you try to put them all into one common question that should be asked, it has to do with trust. Do you trust this person with your most important asset that you are going to own? I think it's a fair question to be able to ask, right? So that kind of concludes my TED Talk. This is a beautiful day. Like hopefully in the background here, you're seeing like all the different trees as I'm just walking here on the path. It is a little chilly, feels like fall. I'm hoping it gets warmer here, but thank you for joining me on my walk. I hope that it was helpful to you. And if you are looking to have somebody potentially help you, all my contact information in the description below, so feel free to reach out to me anytime. If you like this video, I appreciate a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when new episodes of Lansing Michigan Life go live. So fun to have a different atmosphere here, you guys, and hope you are staying safe, staying healthy out there. And until the next episode, take care and make it a great day.